Hi, this is Penny Freeman, and you're watching episode number 3 of Artists in the Spotlight. Today we'll be interviewing Show and Tell. They're an all-original band fueled by the ferocious and intensity heavy metal sound. And they were formed in the late 2019 and are based out of Phoenix, Arizona. So I hope you enjoy the show. Welcome, Show and Tell. Here with us, and your first live gig together as Show and Tell, right?
Correct.
Oh, cool.
Very exciting.
All right, let's start off by introducing yourself.
I'm Steph, lead guitarist for Show and Tell.
I'm Dave, vocals and guitar.
I'm Cade, I play bass. I'm Adam, drums.
Cool. All right, and how stoked are you to be doing your first live gig tonight?
Pretty excited.
It's been too long since since Dave and I have played a show last, so.
Yeah, it's been a long time. We've been really prepping this thing for a minute, so.
So how long has it been since you played last?
Last show I played was probably in February of 2019, I think, or January.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you guys nervous about tonight?
No, I'm excited.
Yeah,
we're excited. There's always a bit of nervousness, but I love performing. I don't get to do it much, I don't get out much, and so whenever I'm performing, it's me and my element, and so I'm excited.
How about you, Steph?
Oh yeah, super fun, through the roof. I mean, I feel like tonight we'll really put on a show, so.
Cool.
First show ever.
You know what?
Watch Steph, he's going to be moving around the entire team. He has a great time. I have fun watching him.
Hey man, that's real.
Okay, so how long have you guys been a band?
We've been a band for about
5-6 months.
Yeah, this lineup has been together for about 3 months now, I think. I started the project in October, just me, and then I met Adam in January, and then we met Steph in
What was that? Late January?
Yeah.
Early February?
It was like a few weeks in.
That's when I auditioned.
Then we just met Cade a couple months ago, and here we are now.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you already answered my next question, which was that you founded the band, and then so what inspired you to start your own band?
Yeah. No, I just kind of wanted to take this band in a different direction than a lot of the bands around here. There's a lot of death metal around here, a lot of thrash, and I just kind of wanted to bring back that traditional metal thing around here.
People that are doing this are cover bands.
Right there.
Right.
Cover bands. There's
So
not original bands.
Getting to the 80s kind of feel.
And they're all middle-aged people. That's one of the things Dave was wanting, is he wanted us to be fresh. He had tons of people wanting to join the band that were, in their 40s and their 50s, wanting to relive their glory years, and Dave's like, no, we don't want to, we want to appeal to people, we don't want to look like a bunch of dinosaurs.
Yeah, try to do it real. Only got one shot, do it real.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I like your whole thing, because I'm a total 80s girl. So when I heard your demos, I was like, oh my gosh.
Right.
That's rock and roll to me, because it's
absolutely.
like, but hopefully not in time you're going to be having to lower your octaves a little bit, because you're going to lose that.
I know.
He's got some room to grow.
Yeah, you gotta keep practicing every day.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
He's had to take it down a notch.
Yeah.
I know a lot of them did.
Yeah, Sebastian Bach.
Yes.
All of them.
Drop that tune in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Slaughter.
Yeah,
always
Mark
had,
Slaughter, definitely.
Yeah, he
Tom
had
Kiefer.
really high octaves there.
Yeah, that or you just have the whole band tuned down so you can sing, yeah.
Right, yeah. So, how did you come up with your band name and logo?
And logo. I had a couple of band names I was kind of sitting on for a minute, but I was in like a financial business meeting, we'll call it, and he was just talking about how he was saying the business was more so just a show and tell. You gotta show people what you're doing, You gotta tell them. I was like, I thought it'd be a good song at first, and then I realized it'd probably be a better band name.
I think it's brilliant because you have bands like Enough's Enough and
Black and Blue.
Black and Blue,
Yeah.
a whole bunch of other bands like that, and so it just fits right in with that era.
Yeah,
I
and
agree.
it has a whole 80s kind of.
80s kind of vibe, and it's a original name enough to where there's not a million of them
Right.
already. It's like,
Right.
no, we're the original show and tell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Ones I have seen online are a little different
yeah, there's
and totally different type of
completely
music.
different. Yeah. So
That's good though. So I can tell you have a strong 80s influence.
just
So-
a little bit.
What bands inspire you and who were your influences?
Bands that inspired me, honestly, Megadeth or Metallica. It's fucking basic as it is. Those are like the two fucking staples. I mean, I jammed like Motley Crue and all that, but recently I've been getting into like Prince's guitar work.
Nice.
People like that, just solo guitarists, really influenced me too. So Stevie Ray, people like that.
What about you, Cade?
Probably like Van Halen, Metallica, Megadeth, Joe Satriani, some of the root players or bands that I've first listened to. So
Too many. Definitely Megadeth. We all love Megadeth.
Yeah.
And Running Wild's another one I love. Saxon. Yeah, you got it. Saxon, Arch Enemy. A lot of stuff that has very talented musicians.
Absolutely. A lot of the bands that really influenced me when I was recording the demo were like early Megadeth, like we pretty much all said, but a lot of the kind of newer bands of the traditional waves, like Skullfist and Enforcer, really like Ambush and Cauldron.
There's definitely some heavy Dokken vibes.
Yeah, I love Dokken.
You know, and that was one of the things that I had told my husband. I go, this kind of sounds like Dokken.
We have another song that's called Night Stalker, and that has a big time Dokken
Yeah,
sound.
definitely. Lots of Cinderella kind of.
Dream Killers almost reminds me of, dang it, I just forgot what they're called. Tesla. Has a very good Tesla vibe to it, and in a good way.
So, are y'all from Arizona? I'm thinking you're not.
Well, I've moved around a lot. I was born in Washington, spent most of my time in Arizona, and then the rest of it in Utah, and I just came back early November. It's good to be home.
So you were here for how long before you went back?
1996 to 2006.
Okay. So did you guys know each other before then? So how did you connect?
Well, the crazy thing is we had, I was in a band called Toxic Dose up in Ogden, and we played at a place called the Metro in Salt Lake City, and Dave was playing with a band called Warhead. He was on tour, and you could technically say he opened for us, but it's also crazy because the drummer in Warhead, Joey, ended up being a tour buddy with the guitarist in my band, Rob, when Rob joined Toxic Holocaust and Joey joined Sacred Reich.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, it's strange how we have these connections going on.
It's a small world.
And Sacred Reich is from here.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool. Where are you from, Cade?
born and raised in Mesa, so I've lived here my whole life actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. Phoenix,
You?
Arizona.
I'm from New Mexico, but raised here my whole life, so I'd say it's a little bit of both. All my family's out there, so.
They're out there and you're
Yeah,
out
New
here.
Mexico, so.
And you were raised here.
Yeah, raised in Arizona since like 4 or 5. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Never ran into these guys though. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
Just me and Dave, like
Right.
we're so close to
well, you know, I met him at,
That Wasp tribute show.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that hair. Total Asian.
Everywhere I go.
Like, he's gotta be a rock
He
star.
literally has the Marty Friedman hairstyle. That was the first thing I noticed when I saw him. It's like, okay, I know you're a Marty Friedman fan now.
Right.
Yeah, we got a picture together, you can't tell them apart.
Oh.
I kind of read the story between you two and how you met him and came along.
Mhm.
Tell that story. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, so I'll try to break it down as best as I can without being too extreme, I guess. When I left my last band, Warhead, due to personal differences, I'll give a really deep backstory. I really wanted to start this band immediately. I was ready, but my voice wasn't ready and my riffs weren't ready. So it really took a long time to get this whole project going. It's like every day I was really wanting it. I was really trying to get it going, but I just wasn't ready. So eventually, when we were ready, I got these guys lined up. We were looking for a guitar player, and before I had seen that Warhead, my old band, finally found a new guitar player, I was like, wow, this guy's really good. Good for them. This guy shreds. And that was about a year ago before I met said guitar player, and I saw a video of him playing a couple of solos, and as a guitar player, for me at least, I'm always looking at, their picking style and their fretting style. Just, I don't know, it's just something I pay attention to, but it's like, I noticed that the guy in the video was picking the same way as this guy playing these covers in his room. I was like, that's so weird. It was like just the strongest coincidence I've ever seen.
Yeah, something you picked up on.
Immediately. And then we started talking. I was like, have you ever been in a band before? And he's like, yeah, I was just in Warhead for 3 months. I was like, no way.
Yeah, I was just looking for any musicians because I felt like I was finally ready to get with some live music, get on stage, and those guys were the first ones that actually hit me back. And just weren't taking it serious, man. I was pulling up on the weekends, the middle of the night, fucking only time I could jam, and just wasn't working out. So I was like, I'm sure there's something better for me out there, and I think I found it.
Yeah.
Man, we're glad we found you, man.
Right.
What got you each into doing music? How did y'all start that?
I started playing guitar since I was like 10 or 11. It's probably when I really started, but I've always been into music. 80s metal is what my family's into, shit, that's what I've always listened to. But I'm not like just into 80s metal, I'll listen to anything really. So I feel like just 80s metal, being with this band is the best way for me to demonstrate my love for it right now.
Who inspired you?
I feel like my dad does a little bit, but he's not so much musically inclined, just a whole lot of people. I'd say my uncle does as well.
Yeah.
Growing up, my dad actually played guitar a lot, more so as a hobby. But it was like, I was 11, 12, and it was just a bunch of guitars laying around the house. He had sweet half stack just chilling there, and just kind of picked it up one day and just, jamming and didn't know what I was doing. I'm self-taught. I've taken that from 12 to where I am now.
Wow.
But my dad was really kind of the big outlet for it. Both my parents, they were really encouraging for what I've been doing for the last 10 years, 11 years.
Oh, wow.
So,
And now your brother's playing guitar?
Yeah.
Doing lessons or something?
Yeah, my brother's pretty musically inclined. He can do lots of awesome stuff. Drums, bass, guitar. He's a really good singer, better than me. He's probably gonna laugh. Watching that. But no, he is a really good singer.
Really?
But he's taking guitar pretty serious right now.
Yeah, I saw that on his Facebook, so I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Someday maybe y'all play together.
Yeah, right. Pull him up.
Yeah. How about you, Cade?
I started playing piano when I was a kid and trumpet for school. And around like 16 or 17, I picked up the guitar for the first time. Most people want like a car when they turn 16. I wanted a guitar, so I was like,
Hell yeah.
That's kind of where I started playing guitar, and then just kind of played with bass and drums, just kind of messed around there. So.
It all started with my brother. He started playing drums at a young age. My uncle had a drum set, and he pretty much taught my brother the basics. And it was in 1999 or 2000. Through my uncle, we got a drum set, and I heard him play Enter Sandman, and I had to learn how to do that. I just thought it was so cool doing the toms, and then it just sounded really cool. So he sat me down one day during the summer and taught me the basic rock beat. In about a week, I had it down, and ever since then, never stopped. Just so passionate about it. It's an environment where I truly feel I am most gifted, and I'm so happy to be able to share it with all of you.
Yeah, you are good. We watched you on that one, flipping the stick.
Well, that all came
That was
about
pretty cool.
from watching Vic Fox play. He was the original drummer for Enough's Enough, and he was with the Veronicas, which is where I saw him. And he is just, I saw that and thought, I got to step my game up. I got to do that. That is cool.
Yeah, and you do it well.
Thanks.
So, Dave, how did you begin singing and what age?
Well, I've been trying to sing since I was 16. Because my first band was 12 Gates, and Dave Mustaine just completely blew the doors wide open for me. I was like, I want to be a singer. But it's like the 16-year-old me is like, I want to be a singer. I guess I'm a singer now. just like that. Put a microphone in front of me, I guess I'm a singer. So when I was 16, I was about 16 or 15 to 18 when I was in that band, 17. Just screaming in a mic, not knowing what I'm doing, anything at all. So it was pretty rough, like when you really want to be good, but you don't know what you're doing, have no clue what's going on. And then the whole time I was in Warhead, I just played lead guitar. But during kind of like that last year, I really kind of started testing my vocal range again. I was like, I think I could maybe do it. And then that goes back to when I left the band, I was ready. I was like, all right, let's do it. Tried singing. I'm like, wow, you cannot sing at all. And it was like, not saying much about right now, but but it's like back then it was even worse. And it was like, okay, you really have to practice on this. And it's like I practiced every day, just constantly, obnoxiously. And it's like I'm finally at the point where I'm getting a little more comfortable with hearing myself and kind of going for those crazy Rob Halford notes and stuff like that. But it's I'm not a natural singer. It's really difficult for me sometimes.
So no lessons, no vocal coaching,
Singing in his car.
Yeah, I have lots of kind of piano scales I'll run through every day.
YouTube.
Yeah, kind of. But that's pretty much what I have to do
Yeah.
to kind of at least stay on top of where I'm at and maybe grow a little bit with that.
That's cool. All right, so I know we touched on a few of you on former bands. So, Cade, you played in Barefoot.
That's correct. Yeah, I played bass in Barefoot for about a year or so. We played like 7 shows, and then I decided I want to go back to school, and that was probably the dumbest thing ever. But yeah, I just told him like I want to go back to school and try to get like a degree or something.
So that's what you've been doing for the last 5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 years going to school and just working full time.
And no music.
No music actually. Yeah. So.
Oh man. So 12 Gates, you said.
Yeah.
So how old were you?
I started that band when I was in 8th grade, and it took me to when I was a senior in high school, and then the guys in Moorhead hit me up.
Oh, okay. So 12 Gates was your band.
Yeah, that was my other band, my first band.
Your first band.
Yeah.
At a very young age.
Yeah.
And did you play Club Red or anything?
Yeah, we did. We were really younger than this. It's like all.
Clean.
Yeah, none of us were even 18.
Oh, wow.
And we were playing like Joe's Grotto. We played Krabby Don's. We played the Red Owl before they moved to this new location, the old Club Red. Yeah, we played around a little bit.
We touched Toxic Dose, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
And you played in that twice?
Yeah, I originally joined Toxic Dose in 2008, 2009. I had some Russian guy message me on MySpace saying, hey, you got some good chops, you should join this band. And it ended up, I listened to it and thought, man, this guitar playing is just insane, and it just the drums sounded horrible, so I was more than happy to go and try and fix that. And so I didn't drive at the time, so I was taking a train all the way up. Actually, no, that was the second time. Robert Solivia, the bassist, would drive down from Bountiful. I was in Sandy, and he would pick me up and go all the way up to Riverdale. And it was hard because I was so fresh at this. This is my first experience in a band, and I was used to just playing by myself and, you know, showing off all the time, doing all sorts of crazy fills. And Rob, the guitar player, he had a vision and he wanted to stick with it, and our egos clashed a lot. And it got to a point where I couldn't take it, and so I left the band. And during this 7-year hiatus, I believe it was, I would literally have dreams about being back in the band, and I had joined, like, you know, an 80s cover band and a 90s, 2000s cover band. So I got a little experience under my belt, learned how to play with a band, and I had commented on a picture of an EP Toxic Dose had released, and Rob messaged me saying, "Hey, would you be willing to give us another shot?" And I thought to myself, you know, this is the chance I've been looking for. I'm gonna dive into it, and it ended up being really good. We played a lot of shows. I mean, the first show I played, we were opening up for Havoc, and you know, what an experience that was. But you know, I was with them for probably about 5 years. We recorded an album and never quite was able to get it finished. And I'd gotten fired from my job at Boeing, and it didn't look feasible to stay in Utah, so I moved back to my parents in Mesa. And I wanted to be in a band. I got on Craigslist and saw Dave's ad and hit him up. And as soon as he found out I played with Toxic Dose, like, it didn't seem like there was even an audition, because he'd seen me play. He just wanted to see if I still had the chops, and so it worked out really great.
That's cool. And Stev, you played Warhead for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, practice with him a little bit.
So,
if that.
yeah. But so is that the only band? So
Yeah.
This is
Really the only band I've been in.
in the
Right
now show and tell. Cool. So I'm so excited.
I'm with it.
All right. So what national band would you love to be able to open up for if you had the chance?
What do you think, Steph?
I'll open up for anybody.
He doesn't care.
Rapper, singer, I really don't care.
I think Megadeth would be a
Oh yeah.
insane.
That would be the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
You guys
Testament-
agree?
Testament would be a close second.
I
Well,
think we
you
all
know,
agree.
Yeah.
Dave Ellison is in Phoenix, so
I run into him a lot.
Do you?
Yeah, he's a really, really nice guy.
Better
Yeah.
talk to him.
He's really
They
cool.
bring us on tour.
Yeah, I know. I'll be a roadie. I don't care, man.
Well, the cool thing about Megadeth is they've always been really supportive of up-and-coming bands. They took Stone Temple Pilots out when they just got started. They did, there was a band called King. There was Havoc even, you know.
David Ellison has Combat Records.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
It's so cool. But, you know, they've always been real supportive, and, you know, let's give this band a shot. They're really good. Let's bring them with us. Sanctuary was another good one that went with them.
What local bands would you love to share the bill with? Anyone?
He's never even been to a local show.
But he's shreds.
All right, we're gonna get you out more.
It's gonna be his first local show and live show.
I can play better than all of them.
He's not lying.
Yeah. No, I think I'd love to share the stage with Intent. Those guys are good. How about you, Cade?
Probably Lucifer. They're
Lucifer.
cool. Yeah.
They've been playing at Switchblade Sound lately.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. They sound like
Lucifer?
Lucifer. Yeah.
Lucifer.
Lucifer. Yeah. Play on words.
Oh wow.
But
Okay.
yeah, they have like a Black Sabbath kind of sound.
Hmm.
It's really cool.
I became a fan of a band called Chemicals of Democracy back in like 2005, 2006. And it'd be real cool to share the stage with them.
Okay. Do you guys plan to make a music video and any of the songs that you already have out?
I don't know if we've talked a little too much about music video right now. We want to, within a month or two, go into the studio and punch out another studio quality EP. Because the demo was just me in my bedroom for free.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great.
So we want to punch out like a little 5-6 song EP with all the guys on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd be down to make a music video for every song. Shit.
Yeah, definitely. And music videos are a really good way of reaching people.
Yeah.
So the more kind of the merrier.
You
Oh, yeah.
can get on MSTV.
Yeah.
Little plug there.
Right.
Okay, let's see. What is your favorite song to perform?
Steph.
I like the solos in song 4. First
You
song.
don't really have a name for
Yeah,
it yet.
that's how fresh we are.
Yeah, but that one's pretty clean.
That one.
How many songs do you have right now?
We just kind of finished up another one called Tonight.
So we've got about 10.
Almost, probably
that
about
many?
8.
Oh, so you guys do have quite a few then, because I've
Yeah.
only heard the
The
three.
demo, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll be playing a bunch of new
Well, I think
ones
you played a little bit more than that on the other.
on the live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they were all good.
Yeah, I think my favorite song to play is probably Night Stalker. That's one of my favorites.
That's a good one, yeah.
Is that your favorite?
Probably song 4, actually. High energy, you know?
Yeah, that one's
Love it.
good.
My favorite's Prison of My Own. It's got a real fun, you know, it punches you in the face while not being too fast or too slow. And just the drumming style in it, it's got a lot of power, and I enjoy playing it.
That's my favorite so far. I mean, out of the 3 that I've heard
Yeah.
that I know of.
Right,
But that
yeah.
one, because I really like the tone of your voice.
Oh yeah,
And that
I
one.
scream my head off.
Well, you know, the Heidi's good, but
Yeah,
you know what I
right.
mean? I'd like to hear more of
Sure.
the natural.
Definitely.
'Cause
Yeah, that's
you
kind of
do
how
have-
we have some of the other songs.
Yeah,
too.
because you do have a good voice.
Thank you.
Yeah. What is the most trouble that you've ever been in?
Most trouble.
Hopefully you guys thought about that. That you've ever gotten yourself into.
Steph.
Okay. Just putting yourself in a bad spot, you know? I mean, I got my degree and stuff, but I feel like I'd be doing the most for the worst jobs. It's just like the worst trouble I've been in, but it kind of puts me in a bad spot, and I feel like I could be doing more for the band if I was playing my cards a little bit better. The worst trouble, though, we'll save that. On you, David.
He's lying. That dude gets in trouble all the time.
He's been arrested.
Yeah, he's all lying right now.
There.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The plug.
No,
You don't have to go that.
no, I don't know. I don't really get in trouble that much. Kind
Yeah, you
of a
don't cross-
poser, I guess.
You don't cross me as the kind of guy that gets in much trouble.
No,
You can tell by his lyrics, huh?
yeah,
He's
not
his
too
own
much.
person.
Yeah, just kind of stuck at home most of the time. Not so much a goody good, but just trying to stay out of trouble, I guess.
The best way.
Right?
I was that way too.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything I want to admit to.
Yeah, on camera.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Nothing really. I mean,
Come
been
on,
pulled
you got
over.
caught ditching school or...
Yeah.
Actually, no.
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 Okay.
Yeah, but I've been pulled over a bunch. That's about it, really.
I think it was about 1999. They had this promotional thing at Sears. I don't think it was Sears. Yeah, it was probably Sears. And it was for Pokemon. They had this shirt that came in this little zip-up Pokeball thing. And the display at Sears, that I saw some that didn't have a shirt in it. So I, took the Pokeball. And I remember when my parents found out about it, it was just, you realize you could get arrested for that? And it was just, that was guilt major.
You're fucking crazy, dude.
Stealing Pokeballs.
Gotta catch them all, man.
So, what's the best advice that you've been given?
Wise man once said, it's not your talents that make who you are, but your choices. That's some real life shit. So.
That's very true.
It's not so much advice, really, but it's just something that influenced me. So I guess you could say it's advice.
Words of wisdom from my parents. Just, explain to me. It's like, this is how much time you have. Take advantage of it. Because one of these days, my dad always loves to tell me, especially after a show, it's like, this is the window. It's like each day slowly starts to close until, one day that window's shut and it's never going to open again.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Very good advice.
Probably from my dad. He always told me never to like half-ass anything. Always apply yourself, work your hardest in everything you do, and, you know, never sell yourself short or anything like that. So
Definitely.
I thought we were talking band stuff. I was just going to say, I go by KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
that's the best right there.
Yeah.
There are times
advice for whatever throws at you.
There are times I love to go off and show off and do this and that, but you got to keep the groove down and keep the band going because they're relying on me and Kay to get this whole thing through. So
Rhythm
if you mess up, you learn how to recover from that, and all the best musicians do. They mess up all the time, and it's don't get all frustrated about it. Just laugh at it, kind of get a smile on your face and keep it going.
Well, how's your writing style? The reason I ask that, this is interesting to me because all the band people I talk to, they have a different style. Some people write the music first, then they go and do the lyrics. Some people do the lyrics first, and then put the music around it.
Yeah. I recently just started trying to do that because, you're a really good musician told me. He works at Guitar Center, but he's a really good guy, great musician. But he told me it's like always write the music around the lyrics. So recently I tried that, and with the songs that have already been written, I wrote the instrumental first. I usually write a couple of good riffs first, try to map out some drums, and I just kind of keep going like that until I'm able to get a full song going. And then once I have basically a skeleton of a full song, I kind of take it from there with the lyrics.
Well, what message would you like to give your fans? Because I know you already got some.
Yeah, we got a few. You guys got anything you want to say?
Everybody Wing Chun tonight.
I hope I see some of you at the fucking show tonight.
Let's show you the energy we put on.
Yeah. No, I think a statement I want to say is some people out there look at us and don't really know what we're about. This isn't a gimmick or anything like that. We're not so much a 80s cover band. Don't dress up and go out there, let's play 80s rock or anything like that. This is really who we are. This is what we do. It's kind of what we stand for. So kind of a statement I just kind of wanted to make about what we do and what the band is.
We love the support too.
Absolutely. Lots of people have been, even when it was just me from the beginning, I really appreciate everyone who reached out and shared the demo, and we talked and really supported me till we're here right now getting an interview. So,
yeah, who would have thought
yeah.
when I met you that day here would be sitting.
Exactly.
And having your first show tonight. So
Yep.
I am really excited.
Yeah, I'm
So-
excited too.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. Just want to say thank you to Show and Tell for sitting down with us and taking the time out of your schedule to let us interview you. And we can't wait to see you up on stage. And it's a great band with great sound. And if you get a chance to get out there and see them, you will be floored. So get out there and rock, because these guys will give you a show you will never forget. Peace out.
We